Hey guys, so for today's video, I have my contour and highlight routine. I'm really excited to share this with you guys because I've been getting so many questions lately on like the products that I've been using because I've been doing more cream contouring lately. I've kind of switched up my highlight and contour routine over the last couple months. It's not really the same powder routine that it used to be. I've really been loving creams. I've also found some brushes that have been like my holy grail. So I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys on the brushes that I've been loving. So yeah, this video is gonna be a full in-depth highlight and contour routine on how I shape my face, since I do have a wider, rounder face with chubby cheeks. So I do like to kind of really define and shape my face through my contour and highlight. So if you're interested in checking out my contour and highlight routine, then definitely keep on watching. All right, so let's get started with my contour and highlight routine. I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys recently on what I use to cream contour, so that's what we're gonna do today. I've been really loving cream contouring lately, so that's what I've been doing. So that's what I'm gonna show you guys today. So I always start off with concealer, and lately it's just been the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm like obsessed with this concealer. This is the shade Light Medium. So normally when I apply my concealer, I really go in and I don't do a wide triangle. I've mentioned this before on my channel, and that reason being, I want to pretty much shadow the sides of my face since I do have a wide face. If I highlight these parts of my face, I'm just gonna, drag my face outwards and make it look wider, whereas I kind of want my face to look longer and slimmer as opposed to wider and rounder. So instead of bringing the concealer all the way back here like you see a lot of people doing, instead I stop over here. And you'll notice I bring it down because I really want to, again, elongate. And I love this concealer because it's so nice and matte that I don't even set it sometimes and it looks good and it barely creases. And if it does crease the tiniest bit, I kind of just tap it out with my finger and it goes right away. Like, this concealer is really good. If you haven't tried it, you need to. So I also normally will take some right down my nose and I'll bring it up on my forehead. And again, I'm not going to take this and do this because I don't want to widen my face. I'm going to kind of keep it going up almost straight. Cupid's bow and a little bit on the chin. I don't really like too much in that area, just a little bit. So now I normally go in with my beauty blender and I just start right at the center. And I kind of let my concealer sit on my under eye a little bit. That does make it a little fuller coverage, even though this concealer is super full coverage. That really helps. And a lot of the times I'll go in with whatever I use to apply my foundation. Today just happens to be the Huda Beauty brush because I just did the first impression of the foundation. So I'm going to take whatever I use to apply my foundation and go around the perimeters, just like on the outlines, just to make everything blend in. So now is where I take my Sigma 3D HD sponge. This sponge is holy grail for the under eye. It just blends beautifully and I just love the shape. The shape is really what gets me. So what I do is I start in the outer corner and I just tap, tap, tap and keep patting it. So you don't want to blend it in so much to the point where you're blending away all the pigment. So I just blend it enough and then I take it up the sides of my nose because that works almost like a reverse contour. Bring it down and I'll stop right there and you'll see there's still like some blending that needs to be done so that it looks blended and there's no like rigid lines. But what I'll do is I'll take whatever I used for my foundation or a beauty blender, either or, and I'll go only on the outlines. And even on the nose, I'll just go only on that outline. And then I'll go back in with this. And I just kind of go back and forth. So now that the concealing is kind of done is when I will go into some cream contouring. I have been obsessed with the Fenty Beauty matchsticks, the matte matchsticks. So I really have been using the shade Latte and Truffle together. Latte being a bronzer and Truffle being that deeper defining contour. So I know it's pretty popular to put the cream contour on your face, but I have kind of really developed the method of applying it on the brush first. Now the reason why I kind of started doing that is because I always hated cream contour because I applied it on the face and it just took so long to blend, and then sometimes I would over blend and it would get patchy. So I always hated cream contour. That's why you guys never saw me do it before. But then I thought to myself one day, I was like, well, what if I just skip the whole applying it on the face part? Because that was just, it was not, like, I don't know, it just takes too long and sometimes I over blended it. It was very easy to over blend for me. I feel like it's more of a beginner's trick to do it this way. So I was like, what if I apply it on a brush first? So I kind of just did that and I fell in love with it, and bam, from there I started loving cream contour because it just looks really natural and skin-like on the face, but I still feel super glam. So I love applying it on a brush. So my two favorite brushes that I get a lot of questions from you guys on, this is the e.l.f. 103 brush. I'm obsessed with this for a natural day when I don't want any contouring, but I still want some definition, some bronze. I'm obsessed with it for that, and for a cream bronzer. And then the Morphe E7, it has like the perfect little angle, as you can see, but it's still dense. And it's not too big, it's not too small. It's like that perfect size for a contour. So this provides that extra really deep definition. So I love these two. They are bomb for cream contour. Like I could not live without them. I use them religiously. So like I said, I apply the product straight to the brush. So we're gonna take Latte from Fenty Beauty and I'm gonna apply it straight onto the brush, and this is how we're gonna put it on the face. I love how this is angled too, because it just works really nicely with the shape of your face where you would normally contour and bronze. I normally start right at the top of my ear, just kind of like angling it downwards. So I'll do that and I'll pounce it. I'm not gonna rub, I'm just gonna pounce it on. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna help not move my foundation underneath. Ooh, look how good that looks, you guys. But look at how easy that was too. Like I feel like when you apply it on a brush, it's applied and blended and done at the same time, like a one and done situation. Just a lot quicker. And I'm also gonna take it, and this is where I do a lot of shading. A lot of people don't contour or bronze in this area, but I really do. It helps to make my face look less wide and makes my face look slimmer. So I'm gonna take just a little bit more product on my brush, and I'm really gonna go in this entire area. Even up to like my brow here, right here. And just really shade this entire area in. Take a little bit more product. And I'm gonna bring it a little bit up my forehead. Now, typically, if you have a round face and like a wider face, you wouldn't really wanna contour this area because you're making it smushed. And again, I wanna elongate my face, but I just love it. Like I personally love a nice little bronzed forehead. So I don't bring it down too much because it doesn't really do much in terms of like shaping your face. You technically don't want to really put bronzer there unless you have a really big forehead. But I like how it looks, you know? So now if I'm having a super lazy glam day, I will literally just take whatever's left over on this brush and apply it on the nose, like super messily. And it just gives you a nice, natural, quick nose contour. But we're gonna actually do full on, like not full on nose contour because I never do like a full intense one, but that's sometimes what I do for like a quick version. Anyways, I'm gonna take a little bit more product, not a lot, but just a little bit, and now we're gonna shape and contour the jawline area, but I'll show you exactly what I do for this part. So I always start on the chin, and what I do is, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have pretty like wide, I don't know if this is gonna change once I lose more weight, because I know once I lost weight, my jaw really looks a lot more defined because I kind of lost a lot of fat in that area. I don't know if that's gonna change even more, but I can tell my face shape right now. I have like this right here, and it's pretty, you know, so sometimes I like to just cut that off and make it look a little bit slimmer and longer. So what I do is I take the chin area and I contour this, almost like as if you're gonna hide it almost. And this is where I do a lot of that. And underneath. And then I'll take it and just kind of blend it down because you don't want there to be like that stark line. But I'll always take it and connect it a little bit to what I did before and just apply a little bit on the ears, whatever's left over. So now we're gonna go in with truffle, and this has been like my favorite part lately, especially when I want a super glam contour. So I'm gonna take truffle and I'm gonna apply a little bit because it's super pigmented. So just a little bit on the E7 and contour and add that extra definition. And look at how easy that is to just apply and blend out. And sometimes I'll just take whatever's kind of left over and move it up. So just stipple and bounce it upwards just so that it's like seamless. And I'll take whatever's left over and just kind of apply. It's not really much. Also, lately I've been really taking some and applying it under the lip. It just gives your lip that extra pout and definition, makes them look a little bit bigger. So when it comes to the nose contour, you can use the Fenty Beauty. I just find it's pretty chubby and I like to just apply it straight on the nose. So I'm gonna use my NYX Wonder Stick. For this step, I kind of alternate. I really love the Hard Candy Contour Stick in medium for the nose. I love the KKW Beauty in medium for the nose. And I also love this one in the shade Universal for the nose. So I kind of just, you know, switch back and forth between those ones. So I'm just gonna take some. I bring it kind of close to the brow and just bring it down and stop it there. I don't really do like a full-on intense nose contour. I just kind of like how it shapes my face when I have a little bit on. So to blend out my nose contour, just keeping it real, I've been using the KKW Beauty brush just because it's small. It just fits perfectly and I like it, but it's definitely not necessary. I sometimes have done it with the E7 too. I just kind of like how this one's a bit smaller and it just fits right there, and it allows me to be like a little bit messy with it. I don't really need my nose contour to be like perfectly chiseled in contour. I like it to look a little bit more on the natural side. And now what I always do is I will take my beauty blender on the clean side and go over that just to make sure they all blend in. Sometimes I'll take whatever's left over on my sponge and reiterate that highlight. So I just remembered I didn't even set my under eye yet, but that's kind of what I was telling you guys before. You really do not need to set the Too Faced under eye, but sometimes I still do. I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty Translucent Universal Powder, and I'm just going to set that under eye a little bit with that. So I'm actually also going to take the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. I also use the Wet n Wild contour palettes too. I have them back there in my everyday makeup drawer. I love them. But I just have this sitting on my vanity right now, so I'm gonna use this one. But the Wet n Wild one is a total dupe, and I use that one a lot. Like, I've hit pan on those ones. So you can totally just buy that instead of the Kat Von D one because it's cheaper. But I'm just taking this yellow shade and setting and brightening that under eye. I don't really like to apply too much because I don't really like to look too powdery. And I will also take a little bit on the top of the nose, a little bit, pretty much everywhere I use that Tarte concealer. So I'm gonna set my nose contour a little bit with the Hoola bronzer, and I haven't tried this brush before. Normally I just use a different brush, but today I'm gonna try this one. This is the M0 by Morphe, and I only am taking a little bit, like tiniest amount on the brush, and I'm just slightly going over it. Not much, because again, I like a really natural contour. I don't like it to look like I've full-on contoured my nose and on the bottom. So now I'm going to set the cream bronze and contour, and I kind of, you know, change up what bronzers I'm using, but today I really want to use the Milani Baked Soleil bronzer. So I always get questions on this brush. This is the Sigma Duo Fiber F50 brush. Literally holy grail bronzer brush. The bristles that are on top here, you see how they're kind of like naked, obviously the whole duo fiber thing. This top naked layer really applies the bronzer smoothly, and it doesn't move the product underneath. It just applies it very airbrushed, and then that layer underneath makes sure that it kind of blends it out nicely. It just, duo fiber brushes are like bomb. So I kind of just let the top layer sit on top nicely. I don't press down too hard. I just let it sit right on top, and I do it in circular motions. I love this bronzer because it has a really nice lumosity to it, but nothing too luminous, and it just gives a nice medium beautiful bronze. You always want to bring it into the hairline too. And of course, just take it on the jaw. So sometimes I will apply blush and sometimes I will apply a cream highlight, but for today, I just want to go straight in with my Anastasia Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit in the shade Glow Getter, my favorite. Like, I love this highlight so much. I'm going to take a lot of it. I really want to be beaming today because I'm going to just do simple makeup today, so I just want my face to really speak for itself. So I never take my highlight and apply it on the sides because I've contoured that area, but I do take it on the top of my cheek and just bring it down a little bit. And I always take it on the brow bone and bring it up here. Ooh, yes, thank you. And I always take some on the nose and the Cupid's bow. So that is pretty much it for my contour and highlight routine. I'm just gonna go ahead, finish up my brows, my eyes, my lips, and I'm gonna pop back on camera to finish up this video for you guys. All right, you guys, that completes my highlight and contour routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you got some helpful tips on how to make your face look slimmer. If you're like me and you do have like a wide face, square, round, or chubby cheeks, anything like that, this routine will definitely work. Make sure you test it out. Let me know if you guys do end up testing it out and it works for you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.